treacle, bacon and bonfire. Do I need to say more?
From my collection video a few videos back, this one was the most requested bottle to review next, which honestly I didn't expect.
What happened to the sound?
And purchasing this bottle, it was my first step into possibly the biggest cult in the whiskey world. And back in 2020, I was super excited to join in. Now, doing this video is certainly a dyslexic's nightmare, but boy is it fun to say.
Uigeadail. What the Uigeadail?
The Ardbeg Uigeadail. Uigeadail? Oogie.
Don't call me Oogie!
Welcome back, you Scotch slappers and whiskey whackers. People seem to like that. I'm Jeff. This is Whisky. Let's crack on.
Jeff Whisker.
Finally, doing the first Ardbeg of the channel, and when I started my whiskey journey, this was the talk of the town. Now, 3 years on, it seems a lot less talked about, maybe because of the 100 Ardbeg special releases that they drop every day, and it just oversaturated the hype. Like with the Lagavulin 16 review, this feels like another whiskey throwback to my early days into the whiskey world, but I wasn't as organised as I was in that video, so I haven't got a fresh sample to compare. But I will say the feel level on this bottle has always been a lot higher. So I got this bottle exactly 3 years ago to the day of filming this review. It'll be interesting to see how long it takes for it to come out once I've edited it and spent ages finding stupid clips to insert.
Are you calling me stupid? You're doing it stupid.
If you've got any good clip recommendations, send them to me. But yeah, this one was one that stayed at the back of the cupboard. Plenty of guard whiskies in front. TM. Honestly, I blame the Whiskey Vault and the Whiskey Tribe for selling it to me.
That is nice.
And with everyone saying this was the best Ardbeg, I wanted to hang on to this bottle for a while, even though it only cost me £35. But I'll talk about the cost and the value later. First, let's dive in on the experience. I've got to start and talk about Ardbeg's advertising on the whole. They've really got a fantastic marketing strategy with lots going on their social media channels, but some of it may feel a little overforced now. Granted, some of the adverts they made are absolutely brilliant.
We've had alligators in the deep south of Islay. Islay-gators, we called them.
But overall, I can't really complain or knock them. They're putting out proper whiskey, a natural approach with a solid heritage look and feel. Wait, is this natural colour?
Hold up. Wait a minute.
I'm pretty sure that Ardbeg 10 has colour added, but I don't know about this. Alright, let's have a look. Okay, so a few reviews stated it's natural, but the Whiskey Exchange says there is colour added, which is a bit of a disappointment to have colour added to it. Like, come on Ardbeg, it's not like you can see the colour through the glass. Speaking of glass, I'm a big fan of the green glass. The black label does a really good job of giving it a darker, denser feel, which definitely the cult of Ardbeg has really relished in. The wordmark logo is super solid, it's very dated, but that's completely fine, that's the point of it. There's quite a good amount of nice information in the bottle. They should state there's colour added, but I guess by missing it off the label, they're omitting to having colour. It does state non-chill filtered. The gold trim kind of gives it a smart, little bit of a premium feel, which this is a cool range bottle, but I don't know if it's definitely on the pricier end. I'm not too sure, I should have done more research.
This needs more research.
I do know Uigeadail means a dark, mysterious place. I'm going to end up using so many Whiskey Tribe videos of just Rex saying Uigeadail.
The Uigeadail.
Your Uigeadail is super good. That is some top shelf Uigeadail.
Uigeadail.
My Uigeadail so not.
And then, yeah.
Tell me about your Uigeadail, John.
The Uigeadail.
Uigeadail.
It's the Uigeadail. The Uigeadail.
Daniel, tell me how you like my Uigeadail.
I love your Uigeadail.
I can confirm.
I wonder if maybe one day I could trick them into slapping a bottle.
We have the Jeff Whiskey. Oh, we're gonna slap the single mom?
The single mom number
You hold
7?
it. You hold it.
Oh yeah, get it. Right on the fanny though.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
It was
Not sexual.
But we made it. Very inappropriate.
No?
Now, if only I could get Daniel to spank an Ardbeg. I'm sure he must have done it once.
Get in there. Ooh.
Well, if the greats are doing it, slappity slap time. That's like a proper Batman and Robin slap, that was. Try it on the other hand. Okay, that was weak. Third time's a charm. God, you're getting your money's worth in this video. I've made that super frothy. It was a solid slap, a solid looking bowl. The artificial colour really has let it down a bit, as I felt this was like the bottle to represent like the real enthusiasts. So taking a point off, it's going to get a good 5 out of 6 Jeffs. Right, so let's get this poured and get to the liquid itself. It goes on the nose. It really doesn't seem that peated. Yeah, like there's no heavy smoke. It's more in line with like grounded earthy peat. There's some like deep red plums bobbing up and down in there.
I can feel it down in my plums. They're getting a nice bluish hue. Getting ready to take them to the farmer's market.
There's a sweetness that like really hangs around in the nose. Like a sugary glazed sauce over meat, maybe like maple glazed ham with pineapple. Yeah, barbecue sauce, Liam Perrins. It's very meaty smelling. There's a little bit of a cheesy, so cheese on toast with like drops of Worcestershire with Liam Perrins dropped on top of it.
Tastes great on cheese on toast.
It's like some kind of like datey, figgy kind of thing. Maybe it's gone mushy, like well overripe dates. Right, after a while, it's really quite subtle on the snout. Maybe just it singed off my nostrils. Savoury, maybe like a little bit perfumey, cakey. Yeah, it's a bit like herbally as well, like drambuie. Yeah, it's a really solid nose. It's not quite perfect. It's definitely more perfumey than I thought it would be, or than I remember it being anyway. I really remember it being like a really meaty slab of toasted, burnt brisket, barbecues, lover's dream. There's a lot of sweeping there. Yeah, but it is pretty solid. Not perfect. Let's give it 5 out of 6 Jeffs. Maybe that's a little high. No, I'll stick to it. Right, no time to waste. Let's get to the taste. Cheers. The texture is like really thick, treacle-like, really chewy. That smoke is kind of almost lighter than I thought it'd be. It's savoury, it's almost a bit creamy. It definitely starts to get heavier, like richer, deeper.
Faster, stronger.
What's the ABV on this? 54.2%. Doesn't taste like that at all. Yeah, that ABV doesn't come into play at all. It's really well balanced at its strength. Barbecue, like barbecue wings, barbecue ribs.
Chili's, baby, back ribs. Barbecue soul.
A bit cabbagey. Marmite, so like Marmite smeared onto a going off mixed salad on top of a rack of burnt barbecue ribs. All in a blender. That peaty smoke's coming back at the end with that sweetness. Reminds me a bit of a Freud 10 cherry oak. To me, doesn't quite hit that height. They are kind of similar though. Yeah, garlicky mushrooms. A little bit of like a pepper kick in there as well. I'm thinking like if you order a steak at a fancy restaurant, like a steak but rare steak vibes. Like there's a bit of like almost like a bloody aftertaste. I know that's strange.
I'm a vampire! 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 I'm a vampire!
There's a bit of a dirty dunnage, boggy, muddy, funky thing. Almost like farmyardy, not like spring, well maybe a bit springbanky when I say funky. Yeah, like can't think of anything now to describe that. It's good. There could be like a little bit of salt in there, like smoky, tunery, briny a little bit, but it's very mild and it really balances everything in together. It's a non-age statement, but if I had this blind, I would say it's a pretty good age on it. It's just how round it is. It really feels quite soft. It's punchy, but soft. I'm sure I've got an Ardbeg Wee Beastie behind me. I could compare that to the youthful 5-year-old of Wee Beastie and see how that compares. I've got my Wee Beastie. Yeah, it's 5 years old. Again, says non-chill filtered, so I don't know if it's got colour to it. And this one is 47.4%, so quite a difference in ABV. Let's get it poured and give it a compare. I don't have a glass, I should have prepared for this. Right, so I've got the Wee Beastie poured. Already a huge difference on the nose. Oh, this is like a real spirity, smoky slap of a beast. I think currently the nose is winning on the Wee Beastie. That's almost like marshmallows on a campfire. It's definitely more spirity, more youthfully, but I really like that Wee Beastie. It's definitely got more of a kick, more of a punch. I would say that's higher ABV than that. In contrast, it really shows just how rounded and balanced and well built this bottle is. Which one was which? The Wee Beastie, the Uigeadail. I'll come back to you later.
I will always remember you in my thoughts and in my heart.
I think in contrast, that's made me enjoy the Uigeadail more, just due to how different they are. There's definitely the same like meaty element and smoky, but they're completely different in my view. There's this like little bit of ashiness in the back, like you're doing a charcoal barbecue, you drop a sausage through the gap of the grill, and you don't want to waste it, so you fish it out, you just brush it off a bit, still eat it. It's all good. I was gonna say a 4 out of 6 Jeffs, but there's this definitely like this really hearty, meaty core, which only gets better after each sip. I could say 6, but I'm going to split the difference and go for 5 out of 6 Jeffs. Right, so time to talk about the dollars and get to the value. As mentioned at the start of this long ramble, I got it for £35. Absolute steal looking back. Cast your mind back to 2020, it was Ardbeg Day or something, I don't know, there was some like Pacific Ardbeg offer I believe, and Master Malt had this on sale, £35. No, it was sale for £45, but I had a £10 voucher making it £35. I think it had free delivery as well. Boom, straight away ordered, and I picked it up before I even tried any Ardbeg. This is where it gets a bit more difficult. I've had a quick gander on my phone and this sits over £60 in most places in the UK. And for that, I would buy another Lefroy 10 Sherry Oak over this. And that tends to sit about £5 cheaper. Like it's a really good, dare I say, great whiskey, but I think it's kind of right at that price point. I don't think it's punching massively above that, but it seems like a real fair price for this whiskey. It is good quality. That colour though, you betrayed me.
How could you do this to me?
Look at those drips going down the glass. Probably can't pick it up on my little webcam. I would say always be like me and only buy whiskey on offer. But that £60 price point, I'm gonna have to give it a half score. Say it's rightly priced, it's fair, and do 3 out of 6 Jeffs. So that brings the final score, hoping that I've noted it down correctly, to 18 out of 24 Jeffs. Again, like the Lagavulin, I thought it would have scored a little higher. Maybe I've just been spoiled by really good whiskey over the years. Like 18 out of 24 is still like a super good score. It's roughly a 75 out of 100. Or if I did it more on the Ralphie Malt Mark system, probably be like an 88 or something. I hoped you've enjoyed this review. It felt like a little tribute to the Whiskey Tribe and Whiskey Vault. And they were like the first whiskey tube folk I discovered. And I used to love having my little samples from Pour and Sip or Drinks by the Dram, whichever it was. And like finding one of their reviews and dramming along. To be fair, that's how I found so many other great channels like No Nonsense Whiskey, Whiskey Shared, Ralphie and all like the other OGs. Right, but I'm sure that is more than enough of a ramble for me. If you've liked the review, slap the like. If you've hated it, do a dislike. If you do want to support me, please do that YouTube stuff like subscribe, watch this video and repeat for a week, sell your soul, all that good stuff. But all that's left to say is all the best and cheers to the next one.